That 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Throwing quickly, Darnold, that's complete. Given 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
13 yards.
First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Darnold now to throw. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, Darnold. Open man is Barner to tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 28. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. A first run now for Kyron Williams. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Now Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Back to throw, Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw is Darnold. And complete to Smith and Jigba. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. That's returnable now for Smith. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Ethan Evans on now to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Now it's Darnold. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's going to be touched down right at the line of scrimmage.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Darnold. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And Darnold, he lost the football. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
It gets this complete to Shaheed. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
At the 48-yard line.
2nd down and 6 now.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
Down the sideline he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. A little juke. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. And the slot man goes in motion left. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. Finding room at midfield. And down to the 29-yard line. A big play there for L.A. 47 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They'll fake the jet sweep, but instead of give up the middle to Williams.
A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, here's Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7.
Now a toss left side. It's Williams. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
22-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Hands it to Walker to begin the series.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Now Darnold.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Their partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Going up top for Cup. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, the first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over first and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. Back to throw, Stafford. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Stafford. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
A gain of 4. Brings up third and 12.
The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. To throw is Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for fortitude there. 4th and inches, and they don't run the football. Normally, you just wedge your way through, fall forward, find the yardage. They took a shot and put it in the air, and it paid off.
Maybe they saw the defense overcommitting.
A lot of confidence there, though, because even if they overcommit, you just want to make sure you get the first down. You throw an incompletion on 4th down there, they're going to second-guess you the rest of the game.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
In motion right goes Adams. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Out of the gun, Stafford. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a fourth down.
So on fourth down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Looking to put a drive together. Play action. It's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Here's Darnold.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. A toss to the wide side. This is Williams. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Looking to put a drive together.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he'll they'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
74 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
We'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
It'll be a gain of 5. And that will bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And the Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To the air again, Darnold. And that will be incomplete as well.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A gain of 3, second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Throwing is Stafford.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now it's Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nicky Manwari. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So this defense, they get their first interception of the game, and since they were in plus territory, didn't have too terribly far to go, but they take it all the way into the end zone.
And you intercepted in that close, you're automatically picking 6 points the other way, but what I like most about it was how the defense rallied, got up on their blocks, and didn't commit any penalties as well.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. L.A. readies for its next possession.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd down.
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Ethan Evans now.
Formation for the Rams.
Taken in at the 22. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Back to throw, Darnold. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
This is 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Third down and 6.
To throw is Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Darnold now to throw.
He finds Smith and Jigba.
Jackson Smith-Njigba. 10 more yards. Complete to Jackson Smith-Njigba. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the Rams' 49-yard line.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play.
And And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he's going to have a Rams first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Here's Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Nicky Van Rory. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Darnold. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 43. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
95 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
And he'll be out of bounds as as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
At the 21-yard line.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now it's Darnold. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
A loss of 6
That
yards.
time, multiple
It's now
defenders
3rd
getting
and
pressure,
12.
and it's a loss of 6.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now Darnold.
And complete to Smith-Njigba.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Play action. Stafford.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Stafford.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes the Rams punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
That'll be caught by Cup. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Gain of 8. That's good for a Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
On the give, it's Walker. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9.
Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and they get the penalty.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hit 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Darnold from the gun. Smith and Jigba with the grab. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. Now a run with Walker. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll try and do this himself. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with it.
A 49-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Stafford and the Rams come up first and 10.
At their own 27.
He'll help.
And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Got it here at the 29 on second and 8.
Stafford.
Screen play set up for Williams.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Rams on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. The busy night continues for Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And it's in, and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Darnold.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Darnold. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
117 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker taking it in for 14 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch out their lead. So he's in for his third score of the game, and a defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get three, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Now it's Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Second and a couple.
Back to throw, Stafford.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw is Stafford.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Stafford. That is caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
To the air again, Stafford. On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked off by Nicky Manwari. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
152 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Throw out wide, going to be incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Fighting through, and he's got space. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
He's taken down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Walker with another carry.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
On the option, it's Charbonnet.
Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Field goal. A 34-yard attempt.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Jason
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Oh, good move.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And the Rams getting set to go now.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
A give to Williams, running right. And a gain of 4 gets it right to the midfield stripe.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6.
From the 50 at Stafford. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next.